Men, let's drop the act for a moment and have a real conversation. Do you still do it? I'm talking about the one thing that almost no one over 50 admits out loud: masturbation. If that question made you pause, you're not alone. Millions of men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond still have this quiet ritual. But somewhere in the back of your mind, maybe in those late-night moments when the house is silent, a question nags you. Is this still okay for me? Or am I slowly hurting my body without knowing it? That little doubt, that moment of hesitation, is more common than you might think. And the truth is, most men your age never get a clear answer. Instead, they're caught between old myths, awkward taboos, and a sea of half-baked advice. Some say it's harmless, others whisper it's dangerous, and a few insist it could even rob you of your manhood. No wonder so many guys are confused or quietly worried. But here's the reality: the truth is far more surprising than any of those rumors. In fact, what you do or don't do in private can have a massive impact on your long-term health in ways you've probably never considered. So in this video, we're cutting through the noise. I'm going to break down 10 science-backed benefits that can completely change how you see this simple habit, and 10 risks that could turn it into a hidden threat if you ignore them. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could literally change how you approach your health, vitality, and even your confidence as a man. Now, let's start with the surprising good news first. Before we talk about benefits or risks, we need to address the silent worry that most men over 50 carry but rarely talk about. Somewhere deep down, you've probably asked yourself, is this habit still healthy for me? Could it affect my hormones, my performance with a partner, or even my prostate? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, you're far from alone. Studies suggest that over 60% of men over 50 feel uncertain about their sexual health and how self-pleasure fits into the picture. And it's not just about the body, it's about confidence and identity. Men are conditioned to stay silent about these topics. Years of cultural stigma, religious guilt, and locker room jokes have created a world where most guys feel confused, embarrassed, or even ashamed to ask the questions that matter. Meanwhile, misinformation spreads easily. Some claim frequent self-pleasure drains your energy or shrinks testosterone. Others insist that quitting completely is the only path to true manhood. And online forums are full of myths that mix fear with pseudoscience. The result? Millions of men are left in the dark, living with quiet uncertainty about whether this private act is keeping them healthy or slowly causing harm. Here's the good news: science has finally started to clear the fog. Modern research paints a much more balanced, fascinating, and empowering picture than the rumors you've heard. And to start, the first benefit might surprise you because it has nothing to do with pleasure and everything to do with your physical vitality as a man. Let's begin with the very first benefit, and it starts where all masculinity begins: your penis. Here's something most men never think about. Your penis is a muscle system that needs exercise. Not in the same way you hit the gym for biceps or chest, but in its own unique way. Every time you get an erection, your body is doing something extraordinary. Blood rushes into two spongy chambers called the corpora cavernosa, inflating them like balloons. Think of these tissues like a pair of flexible hoses. They need to expand and contract regularly to stay elastic and responsive. When you're younger, this workout happens naturally because your body triggers erections frequently, even while you sleep. But as men age, those spontaneous erections become less frequent. And just like a muscle you stop using, the tissue can lose flexibility. If it goes too long without this workout, a process called penile fibrosis can slowly set in. This is when the erectile tissue becomes stiffer and less able to trap blood effectively. The result? Weaker, shorter-lasting erections, one of the most common complaints men over 50 face. But here's the empowering truth: regular self-pleasure acts as natural physiotherapy for your manhood. It pumps blood into the tissue, keeps the spongy chambers flexible, and maintains your erection strength over time. Imagine it like going to the gym for your penis. Each session keeps the tissues oxygenated and healthy. It fights the natural wear and tear of aging, and it helps ensure that when the moment comes, your body responds like it did years ago. In other words, what you do in private today can directly protect your performance tomorrow. And this is just the beginning, because the next benefit is even more critical. It's not just about performance in the bedroom, it could be about protecting your life in the long run. Let's talk about your prostate. If you're like most men over 50, there's one health concern that lingers in the back of your mind: your prostate. This tiny gland, barely the size of a walnut, quietly plays a massive role in your long-term health and sexual function. And here's where the science gets fascinating and honestly, a little shocking. Regular ejaculation may actually help protect your prostate. A landmark study from Harvard University followed thousands of men for years and found a clear pattern. Men who ejaculated more often had a lower risk of developing prostate cancer. Why would that be? The theory is simple but powerful. Your prostate produces fluids that mix with sperm to form semen. Over time, these fluids can collect waste products and potentially harmful substances. Ejaculation works like a cleansing cycle, flushing out old secretions and keeping the internal environment cleaner. Think of it like taking out the trash in your home. If you leave it sitting too long, bacteria and toxins build up. Your prostate works the same way. Regular cleaning keeps things fresh and reduces the chance for harmful buildup. And it's not just about cancer risk. A healthy, well-flushed prostate supports better urinary flow, fewer infections, and more comfortable sexual performance. So, this simple act you might have thought of as just a private moment of pleasure, it's also a silent guardian for your long-term health. And here's the best part. This protective effect is completely natural, free, and built into your biology. But protecting your prostate is just the start, because the next benefit affects the very foundation of your sexual health and even your confidence as a man. Let's talk about the hidden muscles that keep everything working: your pelvic floor. If your penis is the engine, then your pelvic floor is the foundation that holds the whole machine together. Most men don't even think about it, yet this hidden network of muscles is critical for your sexual health, bladder control, and overall confidence. Picture your pelvic floor like the foundation of a house. When the foundation is solid, everything above it works smoothly. When it weakens or cracks, problems start creeping in: leaks, weaker erections, and even loss of control during climax. Here's where masturbation becomes a secret workout. Every orgasm triggers rhythmic contractions in the pelvic floor, especially the pubococcygeus (PC) muscle. Think of it as doing mini reps at the gym for the muscles you can't see. Why does that matter? Because a strong pelvic floor does three things that every man over 50 wants. 1. Firmer, longer-lasting erections. Strong muscles help trap blood in the penis, giving you that satisfying rigidity. 2. Better control over climax. A trained pelvic floor means you can last longer and avoid finishing before you want to. 3. Protection against leaks or dribbles. It's your best natural defense against the embarrassing issue of incontinence. And the best part? You don't need fancy equipment or expensive therapy. Your own body gives you the workout every time you engage in healthy self-pleasure. In other words, every climax is secretly keeping your foundation strong, helping you stay in control and feel confident no matter your age. But let's step outside the bedroom for a moment, because the next benefit affects your mind, your heart, and even how long you live. This simple habit is also one of the most powerful natural stress relievers you have. Modern life is brutal on a man's body. Deadlines, bills, family responsibilities, and that constant feeling that the world is moving faster than you can keep up. All of it floods your system with a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone, and while it's useful in short bursts, chronic high levels are a silent killer. It raises your blood pressure, wrecks your sleep, packs fat around your waist, and slowly ages your body from the inside out. Here's the good news. Your body already has a built-in switch to cut stress levels almost instantly. And yes, orgasm flips that switch. Scientific studies show that sexual release triggers a sharp drop in cortisol and a wave of calming neurochemicals. Dopamine, the molecule of motivation and pleasure. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone that makes you feel connected and content. This is why that post-release calm can feel like your brain just exhaled. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure lowers. Even your muscles physically relax as tension melts away. And this isn't just a temporary feel-good moment. Lower cortisol levels are directly linked to better heart health, stronger immunity, and longer life expectancy. In other words, this private act isn't only about pleasure. It's a powerful mental health tool and a natural antidote to the stress that's quietly breaking down your body. And when your mind and body are in sync like this, another hidden benefit kicks in. Better awareness of your own body and the ability to catch health issues before they escalate. That's what we'll uncover in the next section. By now, you can see that this simple habit does a lot more than most men ever realize. But we're only halfway through its full potential. Let's run through 5 more hidden benefits that make self-pleasure after 50 a quiet powerhouse for your health. Benefit number 6, early health detection. Regular self-pleasure forces you to become familiar with your own anatomy. You notice changes other men might miss. Lumps or swelling in the testicles. Changes in skin texture. Sensitivity shifts or pain. Catching these early can mean detecting conditions like testicular issues or penile fibrosis before they become serious. Benefit number 7, better sleep quality. Ever wondered why the moments after climax feel like a natural sedative? That's because your body releases prolactin and oxytocin post-orgasm. Combined with the drop in cortisol, this creates a powerful signal for deep, restorative sleep, something that often slips away with age. Benefit number 8, enhanced pelvic circulation. This isn't just about the penis. Every erection increases blood flow throughout your pelvic region, which supports prostate function, bladder health, surrounding muscles and tissues. Think of it like preventative maintenance for your entire lower body. Benefit number 9, training ground for control. Masturbation provides a safe space to practice control techniques, like the stop-start method. This helps men who struggle with premature ejaculation. It builds confidence and body awareness, which transfers to intimacy with a partner. Benefit number 10, keeping your desire alive. Your brain is your largest sex organ, and it needs stimulation to stay sharp. Regular engagement with healthy sexual thoughts and activity keeps the neural circuits of desire active, helping maintain a healthy libido and responsiveness even without a regular partner. When you add it all up, this private habit becomes a tool for physical, mental, and even emotional longevity. But remember, every tool has 2 sides. Used without mindfulness or balance, it can quietly start to work against you. And that's what we need to explore next. The 10 risks most men never hear about until it's too late. Let's start with the first and most subtle risk, social isolation. Like any tool, self-pleasure can be incredibly healthy when used in balance. But when overused or relied upon too heavily, it can quietly reshape your life in ways you don't notice at first. The first and most subtle danger is social isolation. Here's how it happens. A man starts choosing private release over seeking real human intimacy. Slowly, that comfort zone replaces the challenge and reward of actual connection. Over time, friendships, dating, and even long-term relationships can fade into the background. This risk is less about the act itself and more about what it can replace if you're not mindful. We humans are wired for touch, eye contact, laughter, and companionship. When those natural needs are replaced by solo habits, life can feel quieter, lonelier, and less fulfilling. And the worst part? You often don't notice it happening until years have passed. The key here isn't to quit, it's to stay aware. Make sure solo activity is complementing your relationships, not replacing them. Treat it as a healthy supplement, not a substitute for human connection. Because while self-care can keep your body strong, real connection is what keeps your spirit alive. And if you ignore this balance, the next risks start showing up in ways that are physical, uncomfortable, and even painful. Let's talk about the first two: skin damage and desensitization. Once we move beyond social habits, the next risks start affecting your body directly. And they often sneak up slowly, so most men don't even realize what's happening until they do. Risk number 2: skin microtears and irritation. Masturbation is generally safe if you treat your body with respect. The problem comes when men are too rough, too frequent, or go without proper lubrication. Here's what can happen: tiny microtears in the skin, irritation or redness, openings for bacteria and infections. These small injuries might seem harmless, but over time they can lead to discomfort, inflammation, and even scarring if ignored. The solution is simple: be gentle and use a quality water-based lubricant to keep the skin safe. Risk number 3: desensitization. The second physical risk is desensitization, and it's more common than you think. If you always use the same grip, speed, and pressure, your brain starts to associate arousal only with that specific sensation. The result? Difficulty getting aroused with a partner, weaker sensitivity over time, frustration in real intimacy. The fix is straightforward: variety. Change up rhythm and technique. Focus on the whole experience, not just speed. Allow your body to relearn natural responses. By staying mindful, you keep your body responsive, sensitive, and ready for real connection. And while these issues affect comfort and performance, the next risk can hide much deeper, and it has to do with your overall health. If you rely on solo activity to stay functional, it might be masking a bigger problem. Some risks aren't about the habit itself. They're about what it can hide. Here's a scenario most men never consider. You can get an erection alone, but struggle with one during intimacy. It's easy to shrug it off and think, maybe I'm just nervous. I'll handle it privately. But here's the truth. This pattern can be a red flag for serious underlying health issues. When erections only happen during solo activity, it can indicate problems like cardiovascular disease, because erections rely on healthy blood flow, diabetes, which can damage nerves and vessels in the pelvis, hormonal imbalances, including low testosterone or thyroid issues. Ignoring these signs is like turning off a smoke alarm without checking for fire. Your body is sending a message, and self-pleasure can temporarily mask the warning. So if you notice that your performance with a partner is fading, or that solo erections are the only ones you get, don't ignore it. The smartest move is to get a medical checkup, because catching these issues early can save not just your sex life, but your life. Not all risks are obvious. Some start quietly, in the way you position your body, and others creep in through the mind and emotions. Risk number 5: nerve compression. Most men never think about how they do it. They sit on the edge of a hard chair, or hunch forward for long periods, not realizing they're pressing on delicate nerves in the pelvis. Over time, this can compress the pudendal nerve, the main nerve that carries sensation to your genitals. The consequences can be alarming: tingling or numbness in the penis, pelvic pain or discomfort. In severe cases, reduced sensitivity over time. The simple fix? Change your position. Lie down with proper support. Avoid putting pressure directly on the pelvis. Treat this time as relaxation, not strain. Your body will thank you. Risk number 6: emotional dependence. Physical health isn't the only thing at stake. Relying on masturbation as your primary coping mechanism for stress, boredom, or loneliness can create emotional dependency. Here's how it happens. Life feels stressful, you escape into a quick release. Your brain gets that dopamine rush and temporary relief. Over time, your body starts relying on that single outlet to manage emotions. The danger? Stress piles up when that coping method isn't available. Motivation drops because pleasure comes too easily. Isolation deepens, feeding into risk number 1 from earlier. The key is balance. Keep exercise, hobbies, and social connection in your toolkit. Let self-pleasure be a bonus, not the only answer to life's stress. And while emotional dependence affects your mind, the next risks go even deeper, touching on guilt, culture, and physical strain. Let's dive into how shame and overuse can quietly work against your long-term vitality. Not all risks are physical. Some live deep in the mind, shaped by decades of cultural and personal beliefs. Risk number 7, guilt and shame. For many men, self-pleasure isn't just private, it's loaded with emotional baggage. Maybe you were raised hearing it was dirty, or that it would make you weak. Even if you know those are outdated myths, the feeling of guilt can still sneak in. Here's why this matters. Guilt triggers stress hormones, undoing some of the health benefits you're trying to gain. It can create a mental spiral, pleasure followed by self-criticism. Over time, it affects confidence and self-image, even in relationships. If guilt or shame lingers, the healthiest step isn't to quit in silence. It's to reframe the act as a natural, human function, or if needed, speak with a sex-positive counselor or therapist. Freeing your mind is just as important as maintaining your body. Risk number 8, pelvic congestion. Yes, moderation matters. While infrequent ejaculation can cause buildup that risks prostate issues, excessive frequency can create its own problem. A dull heaviness or ache in the testicles and lower pelvis. This is known as pelvic congestion. It's the body's way of saying, you're pushing past the point of healthy balance. The solution is simple: listen to your body. If you feel soreness or heaviness, take a break. Healthy self-care is about enhancing vitality, not draining it. By now, you can see that mindfulness is the key, and the final risks we'll cover can affect your future family plans and your ability to connect with a real partner. Let's talk about semen quality and the hidden danger of porn-driven disconnection. We're down to the last 2 risks, and they affect both your physical potential and your connection to real intimacy. Risk number 9, semen quality and fertility concerns. If you and your partner are trying to conceive, you need to know that frequency matters, at least temporarily. Here's the truth. Daily ejaculation can reduce sperm concentration for a short time. Semen quality peaks with 2 to 5 days of abstinence, which gives your body time to replenish sperm counts. Now, if you're not trying to have children, this is less of a concern. But for men hoping to become fathers, it's a simple adjustment. Time your release cycles to support optimal fertility without overdoing it. Risk number 10, porn-driven disconnection. This one is more common than most men admit. When self-pleasure becomes heavily dependent on extreme or unrealistic pornography, your brain starts to rewire its expectations of sex. Here's what that means. Real-life intimacy feels less exciting because the brain craves exaggerated stimulation. Performance anxiety increases because no partner can match the perfect fantasy. Over time, it can create a barrier between you and genuine connection. The solution isn't necessarily to quit entirely. It's to retrain your mind to enjoy realistic, natural arousal. Rely on your own imagination or memories, so that your desire stays linked to real-world intimacy, not digital illusions. With all 10 risks on the table, one thing is crystal clear. Masturbation itself isn't the enemy. It's a tool, and like any tool, the outcome depends on how you use it. And that brings us to the final piece of this conversation. The conclusion that ties everything together and shows you how to turn this habit into a true health ally. Let's wrap this up with the truth most men never hear about self-pleasure after 50. So after everything we've uncovered, let's set the record straight. Masturbation after 50 or 60 is not automatically good, and it's not automatically bad. It's a tool, and like any tool, the results depend entirely on how you use it. Use it mindfully, and it keeps your penis strong, your pelvic floor solid, your prostate cleaner, and your mind calmer. Use it without awareness, and it can lead to physical strain, emotional dependency, and disconnection from real intimacy. The secret to transforming this private habit into a pillar of health and vitality comes down to 3 words: balance, awareness, moderation. When you approach it with respect for your body and mind, you maintain sexual function well into your senior years. You reduce your risk of prostate problems and circulatory issues. And most importantly, you stay confident, connected, and in control. This is the truth most men never hear because the topic stays in the shadows. But you're here, and that means you've taken a step toward owning your health and your manhood with clarity, not confusion. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What was the single most eye-opening insight for you today? Type it in the comments. I read every one because this conversation matters. And if this video helped you see the truth in a new light, hit the like button so more men can find this and finally get clarity. Subscribe and turn on the bell if you want more real, unfiltered guides to health and vitality after 50. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because no man should have to live in doubt about his own health. Stay strong, stay balanced, and remember, your body is your greatest ally when you treat it with respect. I'll see you in the next video.